This is Mwenda Saba TV.
Yes, karibu sana ndani ya Mwenda Saba TV. Na leo ndaja na mpoigushwa wakili Muromba Kirira ekigie judgment ya mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua kotini rarito mono egoro. Na ndo teka ndino menyo bone wa gisheria. Ige tumende gushwa wakili Mugambi Imanyara wakili.
Ni Mwenda Saba.
How are you sir?
Wapio.
Ndeja ndi muntu uyinyerikite ngoro nekwa igira ndironere kotini egoro. What do you make out of kira kyo ndironere kotini egoro kwa mbere kinyenkwira kira kiandeta?
I think what I saw, you saw. And everybody saw. Igambare Gachagua. Dira mbirire kuthomwa thaa ithano.
Yes.
Ria thira thaa ithatu cio tuku. It must be the longest judgment in the history of Kenya.
Yes.
I am told it is over 300 pages.
300 pages?
Yes. It was the longest judgment. Era thoma by 3 judges in turns. Did you see that?
Yes.
Urona kisingi kuthomu?
Nirare imono.
Yes.
And finally?
Now, finally, they were judges bauga Gachagua's impeachment was unconstitutional and against the law. In particular, he was denied a right to a fair hearing.
Yes.
Why? Because he was impeached when he was in hospital. They did not give him an opportunity to defend himself or even to hear his accusers accusing him. They should have adjourned the case until he was out of hospital. But they failed to do so. So they say they failed the test of a fair hearing contrary to Article 47 of the laws of Kenya, of the Constitution of Kenya. And therefore, the impeachment was unlawful. But they stopped short. And I know the most important. They stopped short of saying the impeachment be and they say by quashed. That statement was missing. In fact, they cannot quash. But instead of quashing, let us give Gachagua a bag of 50 million shillings.
To wipe tears.
To wipe his tears. Now, Mwenda Saba, there is a doctrine called the doctrine of absurdity. The doctrine of
absurdity.
Absurdity in law. What they said yesterday is absurd. Okay?
Yes.
Because the process was flawed. He was denied the right to a fair hearing. You cannot set aside the consequence of that and denial of a right to a fair hearing, which was impeachment. But I will tell you why. In America one day, I want to explain this thing called absurdity.
Yes.
In America, sheria kurukitwe watuika kile ando bara beta wa postman para ba kamata baruga bagikaya mealine muntu rimwe beta ba kara baruga irimuko ikadire mibiri. By the time you are reading that letter, Kenya the message is already overtaken by events. So America beta ba kurge sheria bauga postman yoroke ya kundire baruga. It is a criminal offense. Na akade for 1 year. Even delays it for a given period.
Yes.
Now, while one postman was delivering letters, he was arrested by a policeman for committing a crime, which was not associated with delivery of letters.
Yes.
In the process of being arrested and being taken to court, the delivery of those letters was delayed. Now, the postman was supposed to be arrested for delivering letters late. But at the same time, it wasn't his mistake to deliver letters late because he was arrested. Now, which law do you apply there? Should the policeman who arrested him be arrested for arresting the postman, thereby occasioning him to deliver letters late? You are getting my point?
Yes.
So in that process, that is how the doctrine of absurdity was developed. What we got here? This postman cannot be punished for delivering letters late because in this particular case, he was under arrest. He was not voluntarily refusing to deliver the letters.
Yes.
So although the letter said if you deliver it, you will be charged, he was set free. So in this particular case, Gachagua, I would compare it to that case. Now, even another case, compare case Gachagua new. Iya referee ageta kona ukoyingiria mubira. No kuyingira yule offside. Naga choka confirm mubira you offside. But Gachagua, notwithstanding the fact that you offside, he counts it as a goal, a score. Na kauga compensate the other side. Iwe tuma ya ingiro mubira offside. Ikauga bakaye wambe. In compensation to that score which was offside. No judges were in short. It is absurd. Wetakuga Gachagua was not properly impeached according to the law. No Gachagua was left here. Impeachment. What are you saying? What really are you saying? But I will tell you why. Because people should understand where judges are coming from.
Yes.
And what kind of protection is not being revealed to the public. If the judges are saying that they are quashing the impeachment of Gachagua, what is the legal implication of that quashing? It would have resulted into what we call status quo ante, which is a Latin phrase which means you revert back to the situation that existed before impeachment. And which situation was that?
Gachagua, the deputy president.
Oh yes. Gachagua would have walked out as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. At the same time, it would have meant with the same stroke of the pen that Kindiki is out. That is what they were trying to avoid. For sure. That is the issue. But but then Gachagua na kwenda kwenda kushoka ngweni. It's okay, isn't that? But the law is the law. If the law says you are supposed to be the deputy president, you cannot say otherwise. Gachagua arabwirite kwigiruau musafara akaiguo bishi enda kuresign akageta akaresign. But there are some people who are saying if Gachagua went back to the office, he would not have resigned. That is why they had to navigate around the issue. Nini, what, damages, chukua 50 million. But they also forgot that having said that the impeachment of Gachagua was unconstitutional and violating the principle of fair hearing.
Yes.
They forgot that by refusing or failing to lift the impeachment, there are some other consequences that flow from that, which are still following Gachagua. One? Tell me one. I have been teaching you law for a very long time.
Impeach, he cannot buy.
Absolutely.
I'm becoming a lawyer.
You are becoming a lawyer. Very good student. He cannot buy.
Yes.
They did not address that issue. Now that you have failed to quash the impeachment.
Yes.
And the one of the consequences of impeachment is that an impeached person cannot buy.
Yes.
Where have you left Gachagua having said that he was not properly impeached? You are getting my point?
Yes.
Gachagua was not going there to collect a bag of money. He wanted his name to be cleared.
Yes.
It wasn't cleared to the extent that as far as I'm concerned, if elections were held today, he would still find himself where he was before the judgment.
Yes.
Yet, the impeachment has been found to have been unlawful. So, I expect Gachagua to go to the Court of Appeal as soon as possible, probably even today, to challenge that judgment and to tell the Court of Appeal, now that the court has said that my impeachment was unlawful, where do I stand in respect of my right to vie?
Can I vie?
Can I vie or I can't vie?
So he is moving to the Court of
Of
Appeal?
course, automatically. And I have no doubt the Court of Appeal will tell him, Gachagua, you are free to vie. What the other court was shy to say, the Court of Appeal will not be shy to say it. So Gachagua will be in the ballot automatically.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Let's wait to see.
That is what.
Kama atafika appeal, do you think you appeal?
Of course. What are you talking now? Gachagua has won 99.9%. This 0.1% has to be cleared. That doubt whether you can buy or not is just a very small doubt, which can be cleared in the Court of Appeal in 1 minute. Yes.
You wait and see.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Matters. Legal matters. The general public.
You know, yesterday, yesterday I was in another group. It's our Meru Progress group, where people were arguing and arguing. After the judges summarized the issues to 7, they started knocking out one by one.
Yeah.
When they reached number 7, they said it's over for Gachagua. Nikawaambia, my friend, this is not a football match where you count the number of goals against the time left. In fact, it is the opposite. If Gachagua succeeds on only one ground, he is a free man. Now, he succeeded on the last ground, the right to be heard. It doesn't matter whether he lost in all other grounds. So, Gachagua must thank his maker who made him sick at that critical moment when that sickness was required to come and save him, because nothing else would have saved him.
Ugonjwa imesaidia.
Ugonjwa imesaidia. Now Gachagua, now wherever you go, you won't be in the ballot paper because of that sickness. Oh, worry. When there's some things I don't know why we take a lot of time to think about them.
Yes.
One person is injured. What happens? Kajuendelea kuorwa kanajo rungikawa mtole akamba kulitwa akamba gutritwa kuthirwa first aid na kinyerema ongea akadhurwa akasubstitute mubira jo kiendelea.
Yes.
What happens? Kajuendelea kuorwa minus one person. The watchman, the goalkeeper, the referee automatically stops the watch, the time from running, until its replacement comes in. When Gachagua fell sick, there was no option but to stop the Senate proceedings until he is back to defend himself. They failed to do that. Wakaanguka.
Wow. Wakili toja kili shengere kula antere shiamiru igi muito na Mantua State Road golf course. Ibi kwarirwa mono ikiri kana muito joro mono ika intare to akire State Road. Kwa na mwangijo mwingi around that issue. What's your take?
Na hii safari yetu tuko pamoja, kila sauti, kila ndoto inang'ara kwenye kioo cha Mwenda Saba TV.
This is Mwenda Saba TV.